Good day, good day, good day. This is Mr. Anderson. Um, hope all is well with you guys. As I scroll through social media for the split seconds that I get on there, or I stop at certain posts, or I see certain topics, or I see certain things that I don't even know, just either grab my attention or just curiosity on people's perspective of certain things. And sometimes it's like I have to get off. I just have to get off. And that's why I try to limit myself on certain things and certain topics. That's why I'm really focusing on self improvement and self alignment and my recalibration and doing the things that's best suited for my purpose and my alignment. And I suggest you all do that because there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of people's feelings or traumas disguised as knowledge. Knowledge and understanding. So just be careful. Like I said in my other video, y'all need to go watch the Super Bowl and Catfish. Protect your self, protect your reality, protect your understanding, especially if you're changing or you're more self-driven, purpose-driven and alignment with your higher self, with God, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve for the best of you and your family. Be careful because there's a lot of catfishing going on. And it comes in different forms, different shapes, different everything. So just be careful with what you do because, like I said, there's just a lot of misinformation, misunderstanding through people's realities because they haven't really truly understood or dive deep into certain things. And then we're so easily catfished, easily manipulated in certain situations where our reality kind of gets just it doesn't, it's not true. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's just not realistic. And so just be careful what you consume. And I've said this and I'm going to continue to preach this and tell this. It's like, man, just be careful. There's just a lot of catfishing. I guess that's the word going on with this. And it's sad, but it also makes you aware of self. I find myself playing those like I can look at the video for maybe or something for the first 10 seconds and I can already tell in certain situations, in certain sense, where it's going and how it is, and I can look at the person or people and be like, okay, this is why we're where we are. This is why you're where you are. And a lot of times it's just, we we disguise our traumas and we disguise that stuff. we disguise the catfish. I don't know, keep going back to that. We disguise it And it's then a lot of people don't need and I hate saying this, but I'm saying people don't need camera phones or video phones because, like, man, but that's part of us as the people that's really trying to grow and align. You have to distract yourself, not distract, you have to detach yourself from certain things, and clear your mind and clear your space, because there's a lot I can say, yet I don't want, because of my problems, my traumas, my issues that I'm working through, that I don't want to come off as bitter or angry, which all those I'm learning my emotions as a man, learning my feelings as a black man. And I do consider myself an alpha male. I do. I have those traits. It's just some of, yeah, we just have to understand our purpose and our place and our power and our energy and our resources and our internal God that speaks to us when you're sitting still, or the universe or whatever it is. You just really have to know who you are and what you expect out of life. And I've said it before, like I'm in a point of rebuilding. I've been down. I know systems. I see the systems. I understand systems. I understand how a lot of this stuff works. Sometimes it's hard to cope with. That's why I try not to get too involved in certain things because it'll pull you down. A lot of things, a lot of people will pull you back to a space to where your reality gets distracted. So you really have to be careful what you consume. And that's why I try my best to be my true self, my true form, and understand what's going on with me and why these things are going on with me and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and why that and they're changing. I see a lot of memes. I see a lot of, scrolling. I see a lot of things that it resonates with me. And then some of it is like, man, I know we all are healing from something. We're all are going through something. The ways of the old is gone, and I think that's part of the problem, is we're so distracted with realistic realities that we're not actually being able to create our own reality, our own systems, as far as work, relationships, marriage, children. Everything is microwave, hot, quick. We want everything fast. And what's trending, everything is trending, and then trends end, and systems end. And as I'm doing rideshare, it's one of the things I'm always paying attention to stuff, and it's just crazy how I'm seeing a lot of businesses close. Are they changing their names? And because times are changing, things are changing, systems are evolving, and if you don't know how to evolve with it and change with it and grow with it, then your system is going to come to an end, or you're going to be just barely holding on, or when that system closes, you're going to be scrambling to find something else. And that's part of mine is, I drove trucks for so long. I love that system. Got into management. I love that system. Yet certain systems that are out there don't align with that, because it's not evolving. It's one thing that I'm realizing I want more. I mean, I've always noticed that. I've always known that, but I want more. I want more. I want abundance. I want freedom. I want truth. And I know that's hard to come by, especially the last one. Truth is hard to come by when it comes to certain things and certain situations, but you just really have to find your way through certain things, through certain situations, because things come to an end. I'm a firm believer of multiple sources, not being a one-trick pony. And I don't know where that phrase come from. I had to research that one trick pony. But you can't just have one source of income anymore. I was looking at some studies, something a while ago, and it was like, to really have something, what's the average household income for a single person is like $100,000. I think it was like 89,000 a year. I think that's what it was. It was somewhere in that range. And then you're looking at everything, rising cost of this and rising cost of that, and companies closing and people restructuring businesses. Like, it's really, you have to protect your dollar. You have to protect your savings. You have to protect yourself, your mind, because it's draining, mentally, physically, spiritually, all that. You just really have to understand certain things. So that's one of the reasons why I love stocks. I love trading. That's my passion. That's my passion, is trading. And as I'm looking at certain stocks and the news, I don't listen too much of the news. I do get alerts and I read it, about certain businesses and companies and corporations, what they're, they give like alerts about what they're doing, if the stock is up or down, or, I kind of look at it, but I don't read too much into it. I just kind of look, okay, it's down, and then I get another alert, something else is down. So it's just really making me realize, like, money is always moving. You have to have more than one resource to do certain things. That's why you see a lot of these companies and corporations, they're evolving in that sense. They're changing, especially the whole AI stuff. A lot of places, I'll hear in my ride share, I'm doing Uber. I'm just saying Uber. When I'm doing it, I heard some ladies talking about they were here for a conference or something, and I think one lady, they fly back and forth from India every once a year or something, and they were talking about how they were integrating certain AI stuff in the system, and they were excited about it and all that stuff. So, man, we gotta play catch up. We really gotta play catch up. especially those that in their 40s, you know. And I remember just looking ahead, well, back years, that like how technology has changed, and how, you know, our parents' generation were like, man, you know, I don't know how to work a computer. You know, I don't know how to work a computer. I, you know, and then got to cell phones. I don't know how to work a cell phone. I just want to dial and place a call. But now you got all these different functions on the computer, and all these different AI tools, and different sources of stuff. So it's just like, man, we always got to play. We always got to keep moving. And man, sometimes it's tiring. I'm gonna tell you from my perspective, it's tiring. It wears you out. You have to find your peace. You have to find your unplug from the matrix every once in a while, and that's what I do. I try to unplug, you know, and unplug for a minute, and that's what I think I'm doing now, man. I haven't really worked steady or consistently since November. You know, I've had little odd jobs here and there, forklift jobs, which you know, but yet I'm building my alignment back. Excuse me. I'm building my alignment back. I'm aligning myself again. You know, I see what it is, and I love trucking. So it's like trucking and trading. It's the two things that I love. And my children, you know, of course, my children, my family. Like that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. But yet, you know, we have to align ourselves and protect it, because we're getting catfished. You know, it's out there. And whatever you can bring into your relationship, your marriage, man, do that. Fight for it. If it's worth fighting for, you know, grow. Like I said, it's people change, things change. Some people find comfort. Some people get comfortable. Some people grow. Some people move faster. Some people move slower. Some people just want peace. I think I just want peace. I'm just one of peace and laughter and fun and true freedom and abundance of resources. I think that's me. You know, but you just have to protect yourself, protect your being, protect your reality, understand, align, grow, find moments of clarity, find moments of thankfulness. And that's one thing I need to harp on more, is being thankful, really being thankful. You know, as I'm riding around, picking up people, dropping off people, I'm seeing things. It's like I'm riding through the matrix. I'm in my spaceship. And that's everybody get in my car like, man, I feel like I'm in a spaceship. So I'm riding around in my spaceship through the matrix, looking and seeing, man, looking and seeing man, looking and seeing reality and suffering, man, just really seeing the spectrum. I don't know if that's the right word, the spectrum. Seeing the, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I see the highs and then I see the lows. I see the man riding around in a Bentley, and then I see it a man pushing a cart with his belongings on the side of the street with a sign, and everything in between. So it's like, man, and it makes me question my reality and my being and where I am, and me really being true to myself and really get down to the fiber of my being, man, and existence. And I just keep think back of my children, like it's for them. This is for them. It's to give them a better life. It's to give anyone a better life through my effort, through my growth, through my alignment, through my struggles, through my successes. So man, it's just think about it. Like right now, I'm out Franklin. I think this is Franklin, and you going driving by and seeing, man, I know $100 million homes or $1 million, multi-million-dollar homes, and then you going 5 minutes away, and then you seeing people living in tents on the side of the road or something. And it's just like, man, like, but protect yourself, man. Protect your being, protect your fibers, protect your growth. Be careful who you listen to, because a lot of that is catfishing. A lot of this is people are just imaging. And there's one guy that I follow on my trading, and he'll tell you, he will tell you who he is on YouTube when we're watching him. It's not who he is in real life. It's like, it's just the image. It's just the image. And as I'm watching him on YouTube, it's like I can only get so much of that. But he'll tell you, man, who I am on my channel is not who I am in person. I have to sell this image. I have to sell this stuff. So be careful, because a lot of people are selling something, and a lot of time it's not the truth. Even I can be considered catfishing, because I'm not giving the total. I'm giving the truth, yet there's things that I'm going through that I'm not really per se saying, yet I am saying, but I know that truth will come out about me soon, and I'm gonna be the one to tell you. I tell you now, I've been being close to losing my apartment, being close to losing my car, being close to losing my sanity. That's the truth. So I guess I'm not catfishing no more. But that's the truth. That's the reality that I'm living in. Losing my job, my marriage, my business. So I guess I can take that back now. I'm not catfishing. This is the truth. This is who I am. I've struggled with things, struggling with things. Yet this is why I'm going. This is why I'm doing this. This is for people that's going through things that need some encouragement. Like, man, I'm getting out of this. I'm going to get out of this. I refuse to allow this to make me and to break me. I'm not gonna do it. I always tell people, I'm gonna line back up, line of scrimmage. I'm gonna show up to the game, shake it off, shake the losses off, learn, grow, move forward. Play my plan. Practice. That's why I do my trading. Practice. But anyway, protect yourself. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful, because a lot of this stuff is catfishing. And find your peace. Unplug from the matrix every once in a while. It's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for your heart. It's good for your mind. Good for your body. You know, your nervous system reacts to stuff. So protect yourself. This is Mr. Anderson, and I approve this message.